Okay, this is David Meng. I would like to take this moment to briefly introduce you to our new Cardia Bios supply chain app. So this app was built through Microsoft Power Apps, which means you can go to your phone and tablet, whether you're an Android user or Apple user, download something called the Power Apps. And then as long as you have your Outlook set up and hooked up to your tablet or um, the phone, it will allow you to access this app with all the live data. All right, so what is this? This is an app that will give the user the ability to put in the purchase requisition as well as view PO and do a receiving by line items. And also has a few other features like send the email and view your calendar. For first-time user, sometimes you will have an arrow generated displays on the top left section, but don't mind about it. Just go ahead and click the calendar. You wait for a second, then it will load your calendar. And the people search, and this is not a major thing, but you will have the ability to look at the people. That's it. But our primary functions are purchase requests as well as the PO and receiving process. All right. So, the purpose of this app is to streamline the process and serve you better by closely monitoring and managing the ETA, receiving line items, and also giving you the ability to put in the purchase request from your phone. Okay, so let's take a look at the purchase request. All right, so you have these fields, and there are star next to each field if those fields are required, right? So you have a vendor catalog number, which doesn't have a star, means the form, this app will allow you to skip without having it entered. However, I strongly recommend you to put it in there unless you're purchasing or requesting from Amazon or those vendors. But if you're like Fisher or Thermo Scientific, where you provide a link and then there's several other options to choose from, I want to make sure that I am ordering the exact same item. So providing the catalog number here will kind of save time and avoid exchanging emails back and forth, because a lot of times requesters put like mismatching information. Then I have to go back and kind of validate that information. But having this catalog number will kind of save time and it will serve you better. So let's take a look at it. I want to um, place an order of an item. Okay, so go ahead and click your names from the drop down. Okay, so let me choose my name. Right, the moment you choose your name, you have a cascade drop down list, meaning you can only assign your email address. If you're Brad, then it will be Brad's email. Okay, so you don't have the ability to change the email other than yourself, right? And it is very important to select the right name, because all this confirmation email will be going to that person. Okay, and by default the requested date will grab the system local time, which is today, and it will throw in there. Okay, vendor, let's say you have all this list. However, if you have uh, an item that you want to buy from other than these vendors, make sure to click in others and scroll down and put it in the additional note section. Say, hey, this is requesting from such and such vendor. Same with the department and the class. If you don't have your information within the drop down, make sure to scroll down here and clearly state that department equal blah blah, class equal blah blah. Okay, but in this case I am just going to click the Fisher side. All right, and then item is basically providing me a link. All right, I have this link here just for the example. So I'm going to put the link here. But as I open this link, as you can see, you have different variations to choose from, right? So I want to make sure that I order the right thing. So if you see the top right section, it's called the catalog number, right? So when you see that, just make sure to grab that here. Oh, I didn't copy it right. Just make sure to copy it and drop it here, okay? And then for the department, I'm gonna just choose Nanotech 330. I will just say here Discovery, right? And additional note, in this case, I'm gonna just say do not need to rush, but please let me know when it gets shipped. You don't have to do this because you get the automated email. I'm just giving you an example that you can type in additional notes. For the location, if you're not from the KGI location, make sure to click on select on headquarters, because this, by selecting the location, I'm able to send it or ship it to the right location. Um, and I know a lot of people, sometimes you guys have urgency, but if you're requesting it today, please do not do the ship by date for 20, the current date. It's almost impossible. I think it's only one vendor may be able to do that. So just, give some time. Let's put in Friday, okay? And go ahead and enter. The moment you enter that, there's gonna be two things happening. One, once the data is entered successfully, what you're gonna see in the screen is the confirmation. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So confirmation screen as well as the email will be going there. So the reason why it's not allowing me to do this, see, as you can see here, it keeps says enter the data, right? So you wonder why, right? That means the field that has a star next to it is not completely filled, right? So you go here and just go ahead and make sure you enter now. It doesn't say enter the data, it says submit. Okay, so let me show you again. So enter the data and it does nothing. So the moment you submit field all the required fields, then the button turns into the submit. So you go ahead and submit that. All right, so now once you submit that, two things will happen. Like I said, you will have a successful screen, as well as you will have the email from this app automatically. It will grab all this field by the syntax and it will say, hey, order update. Your order for Fisher Psi was submitted and here are the item code. And hi, David Meng. David Meng here is a requester. So if you are Brad, Brad's first name and last name will be here and it will say your order of the item description for your vendor was submitted on the requested date and PO will be placed soon. Thank you. So you will have this automated email as well as you will have this successful completed notification. Right now, since it's done, you come back. You can come back. You can go to the home and go in there. So basically, this icon is purchase request. You're buying something, right? Cart, and this is like receiving stuff, email, calendar, people search. So you can go back to here and go to the PO receiving. Right now, you have this PO detail screen. Right. So you have the ability to search by PO numbers, by PO status, by item name, by vendor name, by email address, and such. So let me show you. Let's say I played around with it. So I'll search by the David. Okay. So so requester here is David. Here, even though it's Carlos, it's popping up. Why? Because it's looking for a data that has my name, so received by David, right? So you can't actually define the word, uh, but as long as the PO contains somewhere my name, that word will be filtered. So that means I have either received them or did something. So I go click on this one. So scroll down, I have my name here, right? So that's how it is. But technically, you are able to do a search based on the requester, or the vendor name, such as Fisher Sci or Fisher. I'll just do Fisher. Then you will see Fisher Sci, Thermo Fisher. Even though it says Thermo Fisher, it's actually Thermo Fisher Sci. So all those things will come up, and you have a PO number, which is, let's say, PO 2222. Then that will pop up. Same thing with email address, DMANG. Yep. Now, so one other way of getting around with the multiple resort is, I know for sure that when I receive it, I don't input my email address. I know when you're requesting it, my name and my email address is entered, right? So this is the another workaround to, if you want to really know that you entered your PO, you entered the PO, then go ahead and put your email address, then it will kind of narrow down the search. Okay. And then anything that contains like a camera or something, or cam, yep. So you'll see that. All right, so that's the search feature, and then based on the PO, you can sort ascending and descending. Okay, right here, right there. So what's gonna happen after you place the purchase requisition here is the PO will be assigned automatically as XXXX. There's a reason why it's XXXX, because I had the PO number in descending order, so that anything the new PO pops up will be showing up on the top section. This is an exception. We normally don't have like PO starting with a QB, but that's an exception. So that's old PO, and that's showing up on the top. But as long as, let's assume that we don't have that one, because it's like extraordinary thing. Um, we have all other POs will be assigned a PO and then numbering. So your new POs will pop up here. And if the PO is not entered into the NetSuite, it will have XXXX. At the same time, the status of PO will be pending. Okay. Once I enter it into the system and change the PO number, the status will become an open, right? So that if you're a requester and you put the purchase requisition here, and the number doesn't change and it says pending, that means, hey, what's David doing? David's not placing the PO on time, right? So that's how you can closely monitor. Remember, in the beginning I said, I will serve you better, meaning you have the ability to, I'm providing you status, meaning, hey, it's not placed. If it's placed, then it will turn it open. So from my end, now I'll go ahead and change it. But before I do it, I will just explain to you. The top section here is a PO number, and this is the status of PO. But be aware that the close and open means in your perspective. Okay, accounting perspective is very different, because it's not done until they build, right? But for me and you, it's closed once we receive it, right? We don't care about it getting paid, the rest of steps, because it doesn't impact us, right? So when we say closed and open pending, that's strictly about our status, not the accounting perspective, okay? Because even though it may be closed here, but they still have to follow up and do the building and stuff like that. The moment we receive it, it will turn to close, okay? And you have requester information. So all the data that I migrated over here will not have all the information populated, but at least you do have like a vendor information, quantity, and stuff like that. Okay, and when you click on it, it will highlight this yellow light color to indicate that you are looking at that PO, right? So once you click on it, the PO detail page will pop up, and it will kind of give you all the information you need, right? So go back. Right now, I'm gonna give you an example. So once someone placed in PO, you're not gonna have this admin right, but from my end, will come up here and enter into the NetSuite. But after I enter it to the NetSuite, I will assign the PO number. But in this case, because it's a test, I will do a pass. Normally, you're gonna have a valid numbers like PO2235 or something, and then I will change it to open. Why? Because it's not no longer pending. It's entered into the system, so that I let people know, hey, this is now entered in the system. You have a valid PO. So you wait. Okay, then you can go to home and click on, but this is the PO detail, right? So now the status has changed from pending to open, and they realize the color is now black, right? So now we're good to go. You click on the PO, you have all this information, right? Now, from a couple days from now on, or maybe a couple of hours from now on, Fisher Sai emails me with the ETA, right? So you're not gonna do this part. You're not gonna have the ability to do this because I'm the guy who put it into the ETA. So let's say I got the ETA, and then ETA is maybe 22nd, okay? And then if I have a tracking number, I'll put it in. If not, I'll just leave it like that. By default, it will say not available because not all the vendors will give you an ETA, I mean, the tracking number on time, right? So do the submit. But if I do have a tracking number, then I will make sure go ahead and enter that, right? But the moment you click the submit, okay, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get the email notification, exactly same thing. It will say, hey, the requester ETA for that item from and the PO number is date, and the tracking number is, if I have entered it, it will display here. If not, by default will say not available, right? So it kind of gives you like automated update, before you have to manually click the link to notify the requester, but now the system will do the thing. So you're good to go, and also you have a successfully completed sign and confirmation here. Right? So go back. Now, when you come back to that PO, click on it. You will you will see need by date was what you put it in, but that ETA is what I just put it in. Right? Let's say today is 22nd, or maybe the item actually came a day earlier, right? Without giving us the update. So I'll just go to the receiving PO. This is the part that you will do because if you're near the warehouse or near the desk, and if UPS or FedEx shows up, you're gonna make sure that you receive it. Here, 2 stars, right? The required fields are received by. I wanna just say that it's received by Brett, and the receiving date by default, because I wanna save you the extra step. It will tell you, hey, by default, it's today's date, unless you're gonna be receiving in the future or the past, right? But that doesn't make sense. So go ahead, and you have the ability to say, hey, it's damaged to full partial, something like that. And the full, in this case, PO can have a multiple items. 5 items can have a same PO. Just because you received this one item, you're not gonna do a partial. Okay? In here, in context of partial means, hey, it's something is not came in, even though you have 5 items, but among that one item, it's only partially shipped or something, or let's say that one PO for that one item that's a 30 items, but only like 20 came in. So that's the context. Okay, it's very different. You just because you received one item from that PO, you're not gonna do a partial, right? Because if you have 5 different line items, each and every one of them, as long as they were shipped, it's full. Note section, you can say, hey, next to process office or something, and then go ahead and hit submit. The moment you submit that, 2 things will happen automatically. One is the automated email, and it will tell you who received it. Hey, David Mang, the requester, your item and PO number from your vendor is received by Brett on this date. So I have it as a default, as well as the requester will have it. So this will give you the ability to kind of track down. So when you come back here and look at it, oh, it's received. You got the email. You the requester. You got the email. So you're gonna go walk to the next to the Ross's office and pick it up, right? You will have it. So my end, this is not you're gonna do, but my end, since we received it, I am going to receive the item in NetSuite, and once it's done, I'm gonna go ahead and say closed, okay? And then I will submit it. So the moment I do close, next time you come back here, um, we'll have the PO status as closed. Okay, so let's check it out. It says closed. That means you have no longer any business with this PO. It's gonna stay there for the record. Okay, so again, the status open and close only mean for us, the accounting team, will be following up and making sure that they will be paying the bills, right? So that's the definition of the status. Okay, and once you click the PO again, now you see the PO closed. That means you can't do anything else, right? So this is just a general overview of how to use the tool. It's very intuitive if you get the hang of it. It's not that difficult, but you know, it, because this has a lot of information, it could be a little overwhelming in the beginning, especially when you come to the first purchase request. Unlike the current process, or I should say old process, you only have the ability to enter in one item per submission. So if you have 5 items you want to order, just go ahead and repeat those process 4 more times. It's not the end of the day, but I promise you, if you do this, you will have a most accurate and day-to-day updated information showing on your app. Okay, so you can also view this from your computer, but also it gives you, while you're like you went home, right? While you're watching TV and you just wander around what's going on with your PO, you can like pull up your tablet or your um, phone and view your PO. That way, you are covered and you know when it's coming. So we have a lot of data here, old data. My problem is cleaning up the old data. So eventually I'll be cleaning up a lot of old data. So we have a lot of open POs, right? A lot, but eventually I'll be closing. But if you entered in the purchase request through this app, from moving forward, those POs will be managed and monitored very closely. So we're not going to have any issue like we received it like 2 months ago and it was still showing as open, so though no longer we will no longer have that kind of issue. So that's pretty much a brief introduction of this app. And if you have any issue or question about this app, just go ahead and give me a email, um, or just holler at me, then I'll be able to kind of assist you. But I have worked on this app and found and fixed a lot of bugs, so I think we're good to go. You can email me at this address. Okay? I hope you enjoy using it. Thank you.